What is up, Division 2 agents? This is Gamer for Life back with another Division 2 video. In this one, I'm just going to showcase what I'm doing to get ready for the new DLC coming in 1 week. So obviously, the one thing I always preach about is making new characters and getting these watches to stack your materials. So you can see my watch is, completely maxed out. But another thing that is maxed out is I went for my resources, my gear pieces and my guns to be maxed out as well, except for my pistol. I have an insane amount of pistol materials, so I made sure I maxed everything else out, and then whatever I had left, I put into my pistols. But yeah, so I maxed all of my gear pieces out, all of my weapons. Now, I will say, the reason I didn't mess with these is because I am pretty content on where I am, because I have, maxed these tactical assessment deals out a lot over the last few months. So I'm content on where I am with these things, but I will say this: if you are not content where you are with these, or if you just don't have a lot of these, I would absolutely make sure and to max these out first, because it's going to be a lot easier in the game for you to go to Countdown and farm for gear and guns, because you're going to get an insane amount of drops of gear and guns to max these things out here, right? So these are extremely important before the update to max it out using your new characters, because once the DLC hits, you're not going to be able to do this again. So yeah, very important to max out your tactical assessment if you don't have a lot of them already. And I'll show you how many I have after I buy the blueprint. So obviously I have not bought the blueprint yet, because you want to max all of this stuff out first. And again, you know what? Let me go back here. So when you get your new character, do not come in immediately. Just use your scavenging points to max your watch out. And I'm not even sure if I used any scavenging points to max my watch out. And the reason for that is because when you are buying these chest pieces, gloves, whatever it is you're buying, the gear, the guns, it is also giving you materials for your watch. So I pretty much maxed my watch out with materials just by deconstructing all of these gear and gun pieces, just maxing those out. So you're knocking out 2 birds with 1 stone. So don't come on as soon as you get your character to level 40, do not use scavenging to strictly max your materials and then start buying all the gear and guns to max those. No, you want to buy your gear and gun first, and that's going to max your watch materials out for you. So that's just a little tip there. And I'll go ahead and buy this just to show you where I'm standing right now. So account your materials again. For those who don't know, when you make a new character, this is the one blueprint you do not want to buy until you have everything maxed out. All right, so let's go ahead and buy it. Okay. So now we can look at the watch and you can see where I am standing. Whoops. All right. So over 100,000 on most. Almost on the next run, I will be over on carbon and ceramics. Then of course my shade and field 1500, because I use an insane amount of field recon data for my builds, and then the shade calibration at 3400. And this is just what I'm doing. It's unfortunately I don't have the time to just sit and play all day every day to get this up, or this would be way higher than it is right now. Just because, like I've mentioned in my previous videos, I'm working a lot just so I can be able to take off a few days when the DLC does come out, so I can focus on doing that. Alright, and I said I was going to show you this. Let's see. Upgrade bench. Do I not have enough money to upgrade the bench? Or you know what? I can just show you through here. Yeah, so on all of my tactical assessments, I am, over 6,000, almost over 6,000 here, 5,900, 7,300 on this one. So yeah, I'm pretty content on where I am with these. So like I said, from here on out, I'm just maxing Yeah, I told you I have an insane amount of pistol, right? Everything else, you know, I could definitely use a little more. So that's what I'm doing. And of course, my protective fabric and receiver components. You know, I'm still over 100,000 on receiver components just because I don't use a lot of receiver components because I'm not redoing a lot of guns, but I do use my protective fabric a lot. You can see I'm just at 24,000. So, and that's just because I make an insane amount of builds. And again, like I've said before, a lot of these builds don't even see the light of day because when I make a build and I go out and test it and I don't like it, I'm not gonna put it out there, but I'm still using a crazy amount of materials to make those builds. So yeah, that's why I am well behind receiver components with my protective fabric. So a question that I see I've been getting on Twitter, and you know, when I'm at work, I do watch some YouTube videos or whatever just to stay in the loop with everything that's going on. And a lot of questions I see in their comment sections as well is what's going to happen to our watch. So people are still confused as to what the difference in our watch is going to be, because they're saying, okay, you guys are saying that the watch is going to be shared with everyone, but what does that mean? And then someone sent me a message saying, can you please just explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old? So, I mean, it's honestly quite simple. Right now, the watch is individual to each character. If I have 2,000 points on my main character and I have 2,000 points on my fourth character, if I use 500 points from my main character for whatever reason, my fourth character still has its 2,000 points because its watch has nothing to do with my main character's watch. But when the DLC comes out next week, what they're going to do is wipe points from all of the characters. That's why you see the message that they gave us when we logged in a few days ago, which I'll put up on the screen here. They are letting you know to spend all of your materials before the DLC, because what they're doing is spend all of your scavenging points before the DLC, because once the DLC hits, they're wiping scavenging points off on all watches, and then they're going to replenish it with whatever your shade level is. They're going to replenish your watch one more time with all of the points. But this time, all 4 characters share the same watch. After the DLC, when I have, I think my points is going to be like 9,000 or something. So just say 9,000 points on my watch. Every character has 9,000 points. If I use 100 points on my main character, if I go on my second, third, or fourth character, I'm going to be minus that 100 points as well, because the watch is the exact same. So if I use 100 points on my fourth character, I go back on my main, I am 100 points less on my main character's watch too. So this is basically eliminating players being able to run through level 30 to 40 again, get a brand new watch, because you can instantly be level 40 with the new DLC. And that's what they're trying to avoid. So I mean, there's really nothing else to say about it. Our watches right now are individual to each character. After the DLC, the watch will be shared. They will all have the same watch. If you don't understand that, then I honestly don't know what else to tell you. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm just on rinse and repeat. I'm about to delete this character now and start a new one and do this process over again until the DLC comes out. So I'm hoping to do this a few more times, not as many times as I would like. I just don't have the time. But hopefully you guys are taking advantage of this, especially if you have the time to really just sit down and do it over and over and over again. Unfortunately, I understand those of you who don't have, you may not even be at level 1000, which is shade level, because you're a newer player. And I understand this does nothing to help you. There's nothing we can do about that. It is what it is. They are trying to make it a more level playing field going forward. So they are making changes to help the newer player as well. You just won't have the luxury of stacking materials like us OGs or players who've been on the game for a year or whatever it may be. But yeah, that's it for this video, my friends. Just wanted to give you a rundown of what I'm doing to get ready for that DLC coming out next week. I hope you guys are doing good and staying safe out there. Once again, I would like to thank everyone for your continued support of the channel. What we try to do on this channel is just help the community out, whether it's with builds, whether it's with whatever random questions you have about the game. We're just here to help you guys out. And one thing I've always preached about on the channel is having a toxic free environment, and I would like to thank you guys for helping me keep it that way, because we're all about positivity on this channel. If you want to leave a crazy comment, that's fine. It's just going to get deleted and you'll be banned from the channel. It's all good, because you know I want to keep those positive vibes on this channel as we go through this Division 2 journey. There's plenty of toxicity in this world. Let's not bring it here. So yeah, again, hope you guys are doing good, staying safe out there, and as always, my YouTube family, take it easy.